happy Tuesday to you. We continue today with Tuesdays with the Pilgrim, and we continue reading John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. We're in Chapter 5, and we're picking up at Part 4, Conversation with Charity. Then Charity entered the conversation, asking Christian, "Do you have a family? Are you married?" "I have a wife and 4 children." "Why didn't you bring them along with you?" Then Christian began to cry. "Oh, I wanted to, but all of them were utterly opposed to my going on this pilgrimage." "But shouldn't you have talked to them and tried to show them the danger they were in by staying behind?" "I did, and I also told them what God had shown me concerning the coming destruction of the city. However, they seemed to think I was joking, and they wouldn't believe me." "Did you pray that God would bless your counsel to them?" "Yes, and with great love and emotion. I want you to know that my wife and 4 children were very dear to me." "But did you tell them of your own sorrow, of your fear of destruction? For I can imagine how clear the coming destruction was to you." "Yes, over and over and over. I was so afraid of the judgment that was hanging over all of our heads, that I know they could see the alarm on my face, as well as in my tears. But none of this was enough to convince them to come with me." "But why didn't they come? What did they have to say for themselves?" "Well, my wife was afraid of losing this world, and my children were enjoying the foolish pleasures of youth. So for one reason or another, they left me to wander in that anxious condition alone." "But did your own vain life weaken your ability to persuade them to go with you?" "You're right. I cannot commend my life, for I am conscious of my many failings. I know that a man's own actions can quickly overpower whatever persuasive ability he may have to convince others for their own good. Yet I can honestly say that I tried to be very careful not to be a negative example in any way, so that they would have no reason for not joining me on my pilgrimage. But for these very efforts, they would tell you that I was too exacting, that I denied things, for their sake, in which they saw no evil. No, I think I can safely say that if they were hindered by me, it was because of my great care not to sin against God or my neighbors." Charity nodded. "Yes, Cain hated his brother because his own deeds were evil, while his brothers were righteous. And if your wife and children were offended with you for this, they were demonstrating their stubborn resistance to what is good, and so you are not responsible for their blood." Chapter 5, Part 5. Conversation at Dinner. Now I saw in my dream that this conversation continued until supper was ready. When it was ready, they all sat down to eat at the table, which was spread with sumptuous foods and wine. Everyone talked about the Lord of the Hill, the things he had done and the reasons he had built the house. I learned that he had been a great warrior and had fought with and killed the one who had the power of death. His victory was not without great sacrifice to himself, and hearing it made me love him all the more. They related to Christian that his victory was accomplished only with the loss of much blood, and the thing that made his gracious sacrifice so beautiful was that all he did was motivated by pure love for his country. Some of the members of the household told Christian they had been with the Lord, and had even spoken with him since he died on the cross. They had heard him say with his own mouth that no one from the east to west could be found who loves needy pilgrims more than he. To demonstrate the truth of their story, they pointed out to Christian how he had stripped himself of his glory to sacrifice his life for those who needed him. They had heard him say that he would not dwell in Mount Zion alone, and that he had made into princes many pilgrims who by nature were born to live as beggars in garbage dumps. Part 6. The Room Called Peace. They continued to talk until late that night, and after committing their lives to their Lord's protection, they went to bed. Christian was taken to a large upper room with a window open towards the sunrise. The name of his room was Peace. Christian slept until daybreak. When he woke up, he sang, "Where am I now? Is this the love and care of Jesus for the ones who pilgrims are? How he provides that I should be forgiven and dwell already next door to heaven." So that's our reading for today. Next week we'll pick up with chapter 5, part 7, the study and the armory. So I hope you'll join us then. Until then, take care, stay safe, and God bless.